250 years ago, or as we say in the United Kingdom, just the other day. Indeed, you recently commented, Mr. President, that if it were not for the United States, European countries would be speaking German. Dare I say that if it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking French. Our destinies as nations have been interlinked. As Oscar Wilde said, we have really everything in common with America nowadays, except, of course, language. And if I may say so, it is a particular pleasure to be back in this wonderful building, the heart of your democracy. On this occasion, I cannot help noticing the readjustments to the East Wing, Mr. President. Following your visit to Windsor...
All right, guys, listen carefully. This isn't just a speech, it's history talking. The speaker opens with sharp humor, reminding us that 250 years ago isn't that far back, especially for nations like the UK and the US. There's a playful jab about language, German, French, but underneath it, a powerful truth. These two nations are deeply connected. Their destinies have been intertwined for centuries. Referencing Oscar Wilde adds a clever twist, highlighting cultural similarities despite linguistic differences. This moment sets the tone, light, witty, but carrying serious historical weight.
Castle last year. And I'm sorry to say that we British, of course, made our own small attempt at real estate redevelopment of the White House in 1814. It is, in fact, my 20th visit to the United States and my first as King and head of the Commonwealth. This is a city which symbolizes a period in our shared history, or what Charles Dickens might have called a tale of two Georges. The first president, George Washington, and my 5 times great-grandfather, King George III. King George, as you know, never set foot in America, and please rest assured, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, pay attention. This is where legacy steps in. The speaker reflects on returning to the heart of American democracy, subtly blending humor with history, even referencing past conflicts like 1814. But then it gets deeper. This is not just another visit. This is the first as king. That alone shifts the energy. The mention of George Washington and King George III creates a dramatic contrast, almost like two worlds colliding across time. And then comes the punch. He's not here for revenge, not here to rewrite history, but to acknowledge it.
I am not here as part of some cunning rearguard action. It is not hard to see how important the relationship remains in matters both seen and unseen. My mother's first Prime Minister, Sir Winston Churchill, understood this so well. But then he himself was half American, a tradition of shared transatlantic heritage, which I am pleased to say is alive and well in the White House today. Indeed, such was the closeness that Sir Winston, while staying here in the White House, in those rooms you showed us upstairs, emerged naked from the bathtub to discover the door opening as President Roosevelt came in for a chat. With rapier wit, the president cast aside any embarrassment by declaring that the Prime Minister has nothing to conceal from the President of the United States.
All right, now we're getting into the real substance. The relationship between these nations isn't just political. It's personal, cultural, and deeply rooted. Churchill enters the frame, a symbol of unity, someone who understood the transatlantic bond better than most. Then comes a bold, almost cinematic moment. The story of Churchill and Roosevelt. It's unexpected, even a bit shocking, but it proves a point. The level of trust and closeness was unmatched. And just like that, humor and history collide again, reinforcing how strong and unique this alliance truly is.
Of course, my late mother met no fewer than 13 serving presidents, thankfully all of them fully clothed. Now, as you may know, when I address my own Parliament at Westminster, we still follow an age-old tradition and take a Member of Parliament hostage, holding him or her at Buckingham Palace until I am safely returned. These days, we look after our guests rather well, to the point that they often do not want to leave. So tonight, Mr. President, I am delighted to present to you, as a personal gift, the original bell which hung on the conning tower of your valiant namesake. May it stand as a testimony to our nation's shared history and shining future. And should you ever need to get hold of us, or just give us a ring.
Now here's the final stretch. Stay with me. The speaker shifts toward tradition and symbolism, bringing in royal customs that feel almost ancient, yet still alive today. Taking a hostage from Parliament sounds intense, but it's layered with humor and heritage. Then comes a gift, a historic bell, not just an object, but a symbol of shared struggles and victories. And finally, the closing line hits perfectly. Just give us a ring. Simple, clever, and powerful. It wraps everything together. History, humor, and a future that still connects these two nations tightly.